There's a number of reasons why an organisation might choose to do an evaluation. One of the most common is to be able to demonstrate the impacts that have been made and the outcomes that have been achieved in order to demonstrate the effectiveness to a funder. Another reason might be in order to establish the learning and capture the learning from a project, which might help inform the way the project will develop in the future. Another reason might be to be able to establish an evidence base, which could be shared with commissioners and potentially inform policymakers in the future. In an ideal world, an organisation really wants to start thinking about and making plans for the evaluation at the same time as they start developing the project plan. That way it means that monitoring processes can be implemented from the very start of a project rather than trying to bring things in halfway through. You need to think about what kind of monitoring we're using and what kind of information are we collecting and why are we collecting that information, in the sense that the information we collect, is it actually going to help feed into the evaluation? And ultimately, the monitoring needs to be able to provide you with the evidence base to help support the objectives of your evaluation. You need to think about, is it user-friendly? And in that sense, is it user-friendly for the staff who need to implement those monitoring processes and maintain the process throughout the project? And also, is it user-friendly in terms of engaging your beneficiaries? You don't want something perhaps which is reams and reams of paper or asking perhaps more personal information when actually it doesn't necessarily link back to what the objectives of the evaluation are. If an organisation is asking for an interim evaluation to perhaps review activity in the first year and to help provide learning for future development of the project, then we need to think about developing and implementing the monitoring processes at an early stage of that project going live, and looking to do the interim report perhaps after the first year of delivery. A number of the evaluations we've carried out for organisations are when the project has reached the end and they are seeking continuation funding. For situations like this, timeframes are really important because it's important to make sure that the evaluation starts towards the end of the project rather than waiting for the project to end. The reason we say this is that obviously the evaluation itself will take a number of weeks and months to complete, and that just adds more time where the project is having to wait to be able to apply for the funding because they won't have the evaluation report finished. So therefore, we would suggest that if you are in the last year of delivering a project, then speaking to us towards the last 6 months would be the best time to start those processes. For me, the main benefit of having an evaluation is that it will provide you with that robust evidence base which documents the impact that your project has achieved. It can be shared with potential funders, can be shared with commissioners, and can be shared with other key stakeholders to be able to provide that evidence of what your project has achieved and to be able to celebrate the successes.